Hi guys, I'm going to be going over Chapter 10. I hope you have had time to read the chapter, and this kind of will maybe give you a little overview so that you kind of have an understanding of the content. One of the things we're going to talk about is authority having jurisdiction. You're going to hear me say the acronym quite a few times during this semester, AHJ. That means someone having authority. It's the term used to indicate the identity that has the authority to decide whether the design or construction are compliant with the required codes to enforce code compliance. So when I say the code jurisdiction of a project is determined by the location of the building, remember a jurisdiction is defined as a geographical area that uses the same codes, standards, and regulations. The particular authority that enforces the code can vary from state to state. So most often the codes are regulated on a local level. Like you have a city of Nacogdoches, city of Waco, city of Austin, but can be by county or a city municipality. When a local jurisdiction chooses a code, the code becomes a local law and is enforced by, of course, the code department. In addition to, a state can mandate a statewide code that must be followed by each jurisdiction within the state, just like the state of Texas. It has adopted the International Building Code. Sometimes this state code is used in conjunction with other local adopted codes, or it might apply to buildings in more rural areas that do not have a local code. Typically, the state will at least enforce regulations on state-owned buildings. Now let's talk a little bit about code departments. The code departments sometimes are referenced as building departments. It's the local government agency that administers and enforces the code within a jurisdiction. Some small jurisdictions may have a code department that consists of only one person or a code official. Larger jurisdictions may support many different agencies and departments. The administration chapters of the Building Code and the Life Safety Code, remember the LSC, gives basic requirements for the code review and administrative process. However, each code department can modify these requirements to suit its own organizations. For example, a large code department may require multiple sets of drawings to be submitted or sets to be delivered electronically, whereas a small code department may require only one hand copy set of working drawings to be reviewed. So most departments utilize digital technology this day and time to simplify and expedite the code submission process. It used to be everybody gave a hard copy sets and they would redline them and go through. But this day and time, online permit applications and processes are being done. Electronic plan submissions and reviews are being done. And schedule and conducting inspections, of course, are being done. Of course, that doesn't mean that scheduling, doing inspections is going to be electronically. That means someone's going to be going to the site and they're going to be posting, of course, maybe wirelessly with a device that it has been approved for that particular level. Another term you might hear is code officials, known as building officials, as we said. It's someone who has the authority to administer, interpret, and enforce the provision of the adopted and amended code within a particular jurisdiction. You're going to be reading everything in this IBC code book, and you're going to say, whew, I don't have an idea what this means. So a lot of times you will go to your code official or your building official, and they'll be able to go through and cipher or interpret what it needs or what it means. The code official is also included when the codes refer to the AHG. However, the term code official, I'm going to be using it throughout this semester. Remember, the number of code officials can vary by jurisdiction and, of course, the size of the city. You may have a plans examiner, you may have a building inspector, special inspector, fire department marshal. There may be multiple people. Even within, we talked about plans examiner. There may be just one person that examines the plumbing. There may be somebody that examines only the electrical. And there may be somebody who just examines just the set of plans for means of egress. With the growing complexity of the building industry, the role of the code official has increased in scope. Most jurisdictions require code officials to have a particular level of experience in the design, engineering, or construction industry. They also understand the actual building process. The International Code Council, ICC, has developed a certification process for code officials. And this process requires knowledge of particular areas of construction and code compliance in order to qualify for particular titles. And that means you might see that your code official in that area may be a certified building official, a CBO. They have passed certain examinations on technology, legal issues, and code enforcement management. With the introduction of new materials, new building types, integrated systems, the job of building officials now require a new level of design knowledge. Like other professionals involved with the design and construction industry, building officials attend continuing education seminars to keep up with changes in the codes and technology. It is becoming more and more important for the code official to become involved early in the design process in order to develop the best design. I've always said if you're starting out and you've got preliminary plans that you want to do for designers, go and review it with a code official. In addition to the codes required by the jurisdiction, certain projects may also under the authority of another agency that develops and enforces its own regulations. So examples could be schools, daycares, restaurants. So like restaurants, you may end up having the health department. You may have hospitals have to apply with some state or local regulations. And sometimes there's zoning and historical ordinances that can affect an interior or any type of project, construction project. Sustainability is kind of its own. Many cities and some states, for example, now require the use of green rating systems such as LEED or Green Globes, which we'll get into a little bit more. But some states require using of a rating system for all state-funded buildings, whereas other jurisdictions require them only on certain building types and sizes. So you have to kind of check with your jurisdiction. And we know there's federal laws such as the ADA, and in the state of Texas we have the TAS, Texas Accessibility Specialist. So this kind of gives you an overview, a little bit about code officials.